We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, boom, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
You've gotten hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of All in the Delivery. This is episode number 135. Let's start it off with giving a shout out to our Patreon subscribers. You guys are the ones that help make this thing go round. Shout out to Tony, Starla, Sam, Luke, Jacob, and Tyler. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, as always. Just posted the new phone clip, the new phone conversation that Luke and I just recorded about a week ago. Just posted there. Luke was telling his story. I was telling my story on that one. Hope you guys enjoyed that. So Patreon, listen, if you guys want to join, come be a part of the family, all right? You get all this exclusive content. But enough about that, all right? Let's go across the screen here, shall we? This one, you guys know him, my co-host down in Westburg, Virginia.
Fuck.
Luke, how are you, buddy?
Had the soundbite 2 weeks in it, or well, I won't say 2 weeks in a row, 2 episodes in a row, just coming in at such an opportune time, dude. I'm doing well. We hadn't got to talk that much. We'd had some, there's some sickness going around, and not. But dude, it wasn't as bad as the last time we talked though. The week was, I could say it's currently 9 degrees right now, and I've been up 21 straight hours. But as we record, it's the weekend. And I'm done for the week. I had a good end to it, man. Sorry for all the drivers if 9-5 didn't work out for you with the first full week of the 9-5 list being back. There was plenty in my building that it did not, but they did right by me because I was 2 days over, and I was curious what Friday would look like, and I was good. I was dispatched under, so
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. My week was, oh my god, where to start?
First of all, dude?
Let's start here. So Luke and I were planning on recording an episode, but then I had the sickness run through my entire family. Literally, my parents were up. Long story short, my parents were up visiting us because we had my youngest birthday party. My youngest just turned 4. Shout out to Grant. Happy birthday, Grant.
Happy birthday, buddy.
He just turned 4, so we had a party for him. My parents came up. Well, the day of when my parents came up, my son Grant woke up with 100 and he woke up with no, I'm getting all my days mixed up. This is how much sickness we have in my house. So the day my parents came up, my son wakes up at 4 a.m., comes into my wife's room, and just vomits on the floor. Kid stuff. Like you'll understand when you have kids.
Making a statement real quick.
Yeah, just comes in and like, I don't feel good. Blah, fucking vomits all over the floor. We're like, fuck. Like my parents are probably just leaving Virginia Beach because they like to leave early in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock. So then 4:30 comes around and we're still up cleaning him up. And I text my parents. I'm like, hey, I know you guys are probably just getting ready to leave if you haven't left already. But just so you know, Grant's throwing up. We understand if you guys don't want to come up this week, completely understand, yada, yada, yada. Well, they decide to come up anyways. Fast forward now, about 24 hours later, the kid feels fine. He never had a fever. He just randomly threw up. And so we, the wife and I, we were like, yes, we don't have to cancel the party. Everything will be good. Go to his party. We go to his party. My poor son, it must have been the other end of the sickness or something that's been rolling around through him. and it's at like a trampoline park, and he just bounced so much he ended up shitting his pants, and it's just like, oh fuck. And he comes up to me and he's like, Dad, I did poopy in my underwear. I was like, fuck. And I like waved the wife over because she's with a whole bunch of other people. I'm like, come here. Luckily, like your parents do, or you should, if you haven't learned your lesson already, you should always carry an extra change of clothes with you.
Keep some backup, yeah.
Just in case. And so, we're like, all right, let's get in. I'm changing that. Right? And we're like, all right, cool, not much. Anyways, kid goes out bouncing again. Dude, second time. But this time, like, he just, like, sharted. Like, he's bouncing and he's farting and sharting and we're like, oh my God, like, we don't have an extra change of clothes with him. We're getting ready to sing happy birthday to him. Everyone's about to come up into the one room and sing, like, happy birthday to him. He just sharted his pants. So my wife takes him back down to the bathroom, changes them. Oh, it was just a nightmare. And then that following day, all right, or no, it was later that day, I'm sick now. I'm sick. I'm throwing up. I'm, everything that comes along with that. And then my oldest gets it the same day as me. So now that's 3 Warhowskis down. Fucking the next one falls down is my mom. She comes down with it, up visiting us. I feel so bad. Up visiting us. My mom gets sick. And then 24 hours later, my dad gets sick. All in the span, dude. And then 2 days later, my wife gets sick. Took out every single Warhowski in this household. And it was such a long week.
Family.
Yeah. And it was a good week to have that Monday off. Was Martin Luther King Day. It was MLK Day. And we ended up getting like 6 inches of snow. So it was a good day to have off. And then Tuesday, went to work. Wednesday, went to work. Now, Thursday morning, my youngest, who came into the room, vomited, woke up with 102 fever. And my wife and I were like, oh, my God, like this poor kid can't catch a break. My parents already went home, thank God, before this. Yeah. So now my youngest wakes up with 102 fever. I call out that day. My wife and I take him to the doctor. He has the flu type A. Everybody's fucking sick right now. Everyone has the flu, it seems like.
That's so true.
Yeah. And he has flu type A. And then today I go into work. My supervisor comes up to me. He's like, hey, I have an over. We have an extra if you want to go home. I was like, that'd be great. My kid is still obviously sick with the flu. So thank you very much. So, burned a sick day there. And today, dude, it's been a long week for me in a different aspect, obviously, compared to what you've been dealing with at work and shit and long days. But
just hearing you tell that, I'm just in honor of the late Billy Mays. He used to always, the OxyClean guy, and anything he would sell, he's, but wait, there's more. I swear, man. I was like, dude, what just a round of, and I guess I could
nuts.
say, but wait, there's more, because my daughter is not, she's got a virus of some kind, but she doesn't have the flu, but we had to take her in. She's been sick. And it's been, so that's part of that. And with the holiday, we decided it was probably ideal not to try to record. I still, shout out to our last guest and most recent episode until this one, Kim Savvy, and I said it on her episode that I was like, I think I spoke it into existence because I said it so many times towards the end of last year. It's like, yeah, we've been really lucky. It's going so smooth. And then it's like stuff, but obviously things like that you can't avoid, but it sucks because of the timing. Like, it sucks because it's right before his birthday. It's right before his birthday party. Your parents are coming up.
Yeah. It was a mess.
Like, the timing is, and it oh man, just,
this poor kid.
Say, what I like, that's worse than, I've just been hearing tire chains clang for the most time. Willow's been crabby. I'm not. That's part of the reason when I said I've been up for almost 21 straight hours. She's been getting up in the middle of the night every night this week with because she's been fevered, and we've had to keep that in check. But it's yeah, I mean it. What can we say? But I wanted to also because I put this in the docs with you were talking about with snow. I feel like to mention this to a lot of the listeners in warmer climates because I did it. I don't know if anybody that listens, if you follow the TikTok page of the podcast, but I ended up making a video on there to a driver in Central Florida. It was talking about like the cold. So it's been snowing where it's not supposed to snow.
Many places it's not supposed to snow.
Yeah, I've seen Alabama, New Orleans,
Florida?
It's Florida. Yeah, and what sucks for them is like we could, because this isn't a pissing contest, because we could laugh at the, we could be like, oh, they're shutting down for having, shout out to Starla. She replied to one of my Insta stories showing the frozen road the other day and said, they shut them down. They had 3 inches of snow, and I said, we could sit here and laugh about that, but that's not fair for them because they're just like what you said with your dad and your mom living in Virginia Beach, which I did not know until you said that they rarely get snow. When you're not equipped for that shit, and you get enough snow to where it disrupts the roads a little bit, it can be a fucking and
it shuts it down.
Not only that, you have people that don't drive on it ever, and most people that drive on it regularly can't drive anyway. So warmer climate drivers, if you know people that can't drive, there's shitty drivers in cold climate conditions anyway. But when you literally are not used to, just think about like going down the hill and just hitting the brake and just fucking taking off. You know what I mean? Because you're sliding, like just shit. Yep. I remember my grandmother told me, because she lived in, where was it? She lived in Georgia briefly. She's in Ohio now, but it was like they got snow, and she said you could just hear the cars crash into each other. God. She said you could just stand outside just because nobody was used to driving. You just stand out there and just hear fucking cars just bam. Said it was at least every 10 minutes you heard a collision. But God. So I can say, I mean, I'm glad you haven't had to deal with it. I hate for the reason why you haven't had to deal with it, because your family's been sick. But it is, as we record, we're supposed to maybe get a little bit Sunday, but I don't think it's going to be like, I think we're finally out of it. Finally. I think it's going to be a while for the fucking some of those roads to unthaw completely, but I think on my end,
that's good.
Oh, dude.
That's good.
It's been testing me, man. It's been testing the fucking wheels.
Yeah.
I don't like to try to compare different times, but I can't think of a shittier month that I've had. Just with the way everything worked out with SurePost and the day having it, that it got bad here and hadn't really stopped being bad. And it just, I can't think of another month, January 2025, that I've had. That was about as rough, but here's to maybe not having any more fucking snow for a while.
Yeah, dude, that was it was funny. You were like talking about the snow and my parents down there. My parents said it's been over 1,000 days since they've had like accumulative snow.
So no shit, man.
Yeah,
dude, that's still so fucking shocking to me, just because of But I mean, that's right there. That's been almost
Crazy.
3 years then.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like a nice place to be delivering.
Speaking of, I can actually bring this up too while we're before we get off the topic of snow. So of the abundance of snow we've had in the shitty conditions here, we get a message today about having strip. They were saying the helper chains, they are going to offer just like the strips like you have, like the ones you can put on. They said you have to ask for them. Like they said, if you don't request them, we're not going to give them to you. But they're going to give those and like the other things that you can stick under, like grips.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
And I started laughing because I thought, man, we're literally at the end of this shittiest snowstorm we've had in a while. Now this is coming up. But I'm going to stick with the chains. I hate it because I'm sentimental, and when I took them off this last time, they're fucking rusted and they're just looking rough. Like I'm like they're going to break soon, and I'm going to have to. But like I told you, dude, you just write them up. You replace. They put the links in until they get too fucked, and then they'll just get you a new bag. But oh my god,
that's good.
I don't know, dude. I could sit here and say that I'm hearing the fucking things in my sleep because this is going to be another thing. I feel like this episode.
You're hearing things in your sleep?
No, I'm hearing those things in my sleep, the chains. Because I feel like this episode's probably going to feel more of like how a phone conversation would go than a normal episode because one, we hadn't. With everything that had been going on, we hadn't talked.
We haven't really talked.
And that's the thing with those fuckers on, dude. That's the thing now. The roads, most of my roads are clear, so I can't. That's why I'll say for podcast purposes and just for my sanity, I can't fucking leave those things on because I can't hear. My dad called me today, and I was fucking. Dude, it was like I was the old man. I was like, huh? Because I couldn't fucking hear shit. But yeah, dude, that's what we haven't talked much because when I have those on and like with everything that's been off work, so I feel like this is this is one of those episodes that we have. we gotta do the question of the week. We got a few things we got to do before that, and I'll jump into what I want to bring up because while we're reminiscing here of maybe us being out of the snow, got to go with an episode that I want to say is no longer available because I think I could be wrong. It was Joe and Amy were on the episode, but Joe and Amy were on a lot of episodes. Not just this. I don't know if this was a guest episode or just one time when we were just talking.
Okay. But
we started. It was a thing where I think Joe brought it up, and it was like how there was like a thing like when you guess like there's shows or stuff like on the radio. I can't remember how we brought it up, but it was like people are predicting when someone's going to. Like a celebrity's going to pass away.
Oh, yeah.
And when we did that, this is funny because I literally just put this in the docs, and I'm so glad that this popped up because, one, we hadn't had a lot of time to really get a lot together, and two, that this is I'm fucking sentimental. Dick Van Dyke. Dick Van Dyke is still alive and kicking, and whenever we said this, I think it was because I want to say it was the last episode which we took down because it was just kind of because it didn't end up being the last episode, and but I said I hope I'm wrong, but I said Dick Van Dyke and. I think he may be 100 or he's going to be 100, but he is still alive and kicking. And I just saw a video like on my 4. It was like it was just speaking to me. it was a thing of his dad, or this guy was talking about Dick Van Dyke's son, who was 74 years old, and he was asking him permission to do something like a son would ask a father, but he was like, it was funny because their like collective age is 173 years. But I'm glad to say that whatever episode that one was on, that prediction is wrong, and Dick Van Dyke is still alive and well.
Still with us.
I was a Nick at Night kid, man.
Hey, yeah. Nick at Night. Jesus Christ.
How much does that give you a throwback?
Like, oh, dude. I mean, what shows? Like, we're talking like.
You got I Love Lucy.
Man. Yeah.
The Dick Van Dyke Show. That's how I first, knew who Dick Van Dyke was. And while we're on this,
wasn't it like midnight when they would always play like the music videos? Like, didn't they play music like at midnight or something? Like starting at midnight?
On Nick at Night?
No, like after. It was like after Nick at Night.
Maybe.
Or something like. Dude, I specifically remember the one Daft Punk song, One More Time, and the music video to that. And I remember it always like late at night. It would they would play this one music video.
Dude, I think
over
you're right.
And like every Friday night or something like that.
I think you're fucking right. Holy shit! I know what you're talking
song
about.
I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do. Dude, you just took me into a whole. Now I'm really trying to.
And it's this like anime video. Like the video is like an anime video.
My memory cells, that one's just fucking dangling by a thread, but I can remember.
But I would remember the music.
I was sidetracked because I was going to say with the Dick Van Dyke Show, I was thinking about Mary Tyler Moore. And Mary Tyler Moore in her prime, she was. I've always said she was. I mean, I know it's like weird to say because she's been gone for a while, but she was very attractive, and I always thought for back in the day, she might have been the. I've always said she was probably the hottest TV wife of the era of the 50s and 60s. I don't know if she'd been the best. I'd have to say Lucy. Lucy was the best. That fucking woman. I've seen videos of her when she's older, like being on like Johnny Carson and just these other shows, dude. She truly, I mean, aside from being funny and just being gifted, like she didn't give two fucks. And I feel like for her, and especially the era that she was like at her peak in stardom, I mean, dude, I'm sure she had to put up with some shit. But dude, at that age she was then, I mean, she was probably, now I feel like a failure because I don't know Lucille Ball's age. I fucking am ashamed to admit that because she is well within my wheelhouse. When I was looking at IMDb 5 times a week for a year straight. But
man,
she I mean, just to the misogyny kind of was, still pretty. I mean, anybody that's seen Mad Men, that's it. Just, but dude, at her age that she was, I don't know when she would have passed away either. Fuck, I don't know that. I feel like she lived for a while, but dude, interviews of her, she was savage, and it was fucking awesome. But I'm trying to think of other. Did you watch Taxi?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
First show I ever saw Danny DeVito in. A fucking guy.
I'm actually looking at like the lineup of a whole bunch of them when they aired the shows that they would play on Nick at Night. Right. So the Dick Van Dyke Show, the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Yeah.
The Andy Griffith Show.
Oh my God! How could I forget Andy Griffith? Holy
and then
shit!
Like Taxi's on there. The Bob Newhart Show. Newhart Three's Company. Welcome Back, Cotter. Happy Days. Happy Days.
Happy Days. Holy shit! I was gonna say that might be the one show where a lot of the cast actually still might be alive.
Cheers, Mad About You, Roseanne, The Nanny. Oh my God, classic.
Yes.
Yeah. Did I ever tell a story when I met the butler who played in The Nanny?
No, I don't believe.
So on my old route out there in New Paltz, there's an actor and actress who live out there. And the one time I had a package for them, and I didn't know that they were an actor and an actress at the time. Like, this is when I was fresh sort of to the route, and I had a package that needed a signature, and I go up to the house, and dude, it's the guy that plays the butler from The Nanny that opens the door, and I recognize him immediately, you know. And I was like, yeah, I just got one here, just need like a signature, dude. Nicest dude in the world. The nicest guy in the world.
Man, you just got celebrities just falling. I mean, we got Taylor. Could we say it now? I mean, I guess what could we say? Taylor Schilling, man.
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black. Piper.
Yeah.
That's I would be starstruck by that one, dude. I was a Sanji Cohen who wrote Weeds. Did Orange is the New Black. So I was a fan of her work from Weeds, so I checked it out, and I was a fan. I was a fan. So I would we've hilariously talked about trying to just see if we could get her to wing, like Dave just show up randomly and be like, "Hey Taylor, you want to say?" Be like, don't worry about anything legally or what you're representing who you don't know us at all or what you're called. But hey, you want to say, hey, why don't you guys go check out all the delivery podcasts?
But speaking of shows, you've caught up a little bit on Squid Games.
Oh,
what's
dude.
your take on the first 3 episodes there?
I mean,
without spoiling anything.
I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm going to say this. I said this episode might have a twist to it, so it might feel so. I don't want to slip. So I'm going to say, spoiler alert. I'm going to try not to slip, but I'll just if you've seen the first season, I'm going to just say,
no, fuck that. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, you better fucking fast forward now.
I haven't.
Let's talk about it.
I've seen like 2.5 episodes, so don't fucking. I don't have a lot to spoil, but I can say that
the ending of that first episode,
intense as fuck.
Oh my dude!
It was just like they're
just going back and forth.
They matched the first episode of season 1 with the anxiety, and it was crazy because it was in a totally different format because they did red light, green light again. And I thought that was kind of funny because it was like, way less people died because, good old 4, 5, 6 coming in.
What did you think about that? Just coming out, I was like, just coming out hot, letting everybody know this is what's going on.
Well, it was like his timing was just shit because he could have said something way before that. There's a part I gotta make sure I say because it just like I feel like it there was no words. It's just like how it speaks volumes. Now I know this is a fictional show, but dude, I'm just saying with a greed aspect. So I'm going to just say, because I want to make sure to say this, because I'd like to talk a little bit more about the ending of the first episode, but it was, I think it was in episode 2 when they did Red Light, or was it episode 3 when they did Red Light? So
that was
might have been 3.
Yeah, I want to say the first 2 were where really it was focused on reintroducing characters. And then you see the guy that finds all the players.
So after red light, green light is up, and they obviously know like people, still not as many people died as they did in season 1, but a lot still died. So people obviously know that this shit is real. And I thought it was interesting how they did the prize money split. Like, if you want to quit, you can split the prize money, which they never offered before.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that may play a role as it goes a little bit later. But so this was the part that really shook me when I just thought of how fucking people are. And I feel like for me being, this is a fucking guy who was a degenerate bettor for a long fucking time. And, so it just, I don't know if it just caught me, but so after, when everybody's back, they're back in the bunks after the first game's done. And people were like, just like they did in the first season, these people think they're all like debt collectors. And they're like, please, I'll find a way to, they think they're just fucking with them.
Yeah.
And, then they obviously tell them that it's not. Then they bring down the piggy bank and start dumping the fucking money in from the people that died. And those people's faces when they look up and they see that other than 456, because he knows, just lit up
went
like
from
a
being
fucking
shook
Christmas
to
tree.
seeing people shot in front of them to holy shit, my life's about to change.
And I was sitting there in my mind, I was like, man, that fucking kind of scared me, because I was like, man, there's a lot of people. There's people that have that mindset that just could not see. They're just blinded by it. Fucking. Then I just started, dude. That one really, for no dialogue whatsoever. I was like, man, that's just fucking. But they play like that casino music, like you just hit a jackpot anyway. And then it's like, so if they all would split, however many of them was left, it was like they wouldn't even cover none of the fucking debts they owe or nothing. So it's just like, I'm very, very curious and excited. I just got to pick my spots to watch it, because Willow's been really clingy because she's been sick. So I really have not. I've tried to watch it when she's not paying attention. Obviously, she was not paying attention when I was watching the end of the first episode. And that dude, so the Russian, that was fucking crazy. The Russian roulette thing was fucking wild.
That had me on the edge of my seat. Like, I couldn't breathe. I was all choked up.
And I knew that dude
Dude, I don't know what it was, but I felt like to make that scene even more intense, they added just like the sound effects of the gun and, the revolver and him flicking it open and then spinning the shit out of it. Dude, it felt like the sound effects were just so much louder and just like more there, like in your face, and it helped intensify the anxiety of that entire scene. Dude, oh man,
well,
it was so intense.
It is one of those. I'll tell you right now. I've not played Russian roulette like that. I've played Russian roulette as far as shooting at nothing. Sure. Like, we've done it, like, when we've been out, we've been like, okay, because I used to have I've got a lot of revolvers, but I had one that was a 22 9-shot revolver. So you had a 1 and 9, so it was really, really long shot. Yeah. And, dude, I remember when we would just, like, spin it and just shoot it like we're shooting it at like a can or something. Dude, just wait. That's like, oh fuck, I couldn't imagine. I fucking Jesus. But I knew that guy would shoot himself. Like, I knew when it got down to that final shot, I was like, this dude's gonna kill himself. He ain't gonna try to fight it. And I was like, that guy's just weird. That dude's just weird, man. I knew he'd fucking shoot himself.
He was an honest guy.
Yeah.
But he was just weird.
He wasn't. He definitely was an honest guy. That's for fucking sure. But
like, it was like, I don't know if it was like that guy and just how calm, like how cool, calm, and collected he was the entire time. And then you have what's his name, the main character there, like sweating hard, like panicking almost. And then you have the other guy across the table that's just all calm and shit. Like, that entire scene, the way like the characters fed off each other and shit, like going back and forth there with it was really well done.
I'm so into how they fucking. I'm a fan those fucking whoever's directing that and making it over there, God, just keep up the good work. Because that was like what, dude? It was like crazy. Because it was like the first. Because I think they're Korean. I think they're from Korea,
Yes.
South Korea. Is that right? Is that where it's based out of? And they were like it's like the first ever like international show to like break, which I never really realized before. But that probably, not to take anything away from Squid Game, the exposure that stuff has now probably wasn't around back in the day. But dude, Squid Game is fucking.
That's true.
It is a epic show, and if you were curious about watching it, that spoiled very little. So if you did listen, even if we told you, Dave told you to fast forward, it's I mean, you got to have like my wife, like Ashley, the Mrs. Nomad, hates it because she looked at it like it was the first episode, season 1, red light, green light. We didn't know what was, didn't know the fucking what was about to happen. She said it was like when if I bet on a game and she fucking knew what I bet on and it would come down to the wire, like, dude, she would have anxiety. And it wouldn't really matter, it wouldn't matter of what it would be. Like, it wasn't the amount, because I could bet $50 and she would be like, if it came to the wire, she would sweat it. You know what I mean? So that she's not a fan of but she said she was willing to give it another shot, because I told her it's really good. I was like, not as many people get massacred like that after the first episode of the first season, but it's really fucking good.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. Should we get into the question of the week?
I think we should. Yeah, let's get into the question of the week, because we didn't get to. Well, we kind of did this on Kim's first episode. That got didn't get recorded, and then we decided to save it for the next time. So this is this question of the week has been marinating for a while.
So let's see what we got, shall we? The question of the week this week was, what's your theme song while delivering? So happy I get to read these. Here we go. The first one is from Hilly on the Go. Shout out to John Hilligut. Says, Judas Priest, delivering the goods.
Can't go wrong with Judas Priest.
No. Next one here is from Cameron88. Says, Hybrid Moments by the Misfits.
Dude, we get into these because this is kind of weird, because we were talking about this because we've done it once, but
deja vu.
It is. Okay.
This one here is from our one and only DHL driver, Rick Star26. Says, Heroes Get Remembered, Legends Never Die by 4 Year Strong.
And I said with this one, I don't know the song, but the title is fucking amazing. The title just makes me want to fucking put the chains on and deliver more.
The next one is from Porno Parcel. Shout out to RJ. RJ says, for my regular days, smoking crack and cocaine, gin smoking lies. And on a serious day, the theme song from the classic Tom Cruise movie, Days of Thunder.
Love it.
This one here is from That Dude Luke in Me. Says, Fire, Water, Burn, Bloodhound Gang.
See, God, I'm fucking. That's another one, dude. I hate it. I'm sorry, Luke. We share the same name, but I fucking don't know that one. I've probably heard it. I just don't know the title offhand.
This one here is from GirlDad8704. Says, Fuel, Metallica, Blind by Korn. Both great. Next
Ernie
one's from the cow.
Martinez. That's right in the wheelhouse. Mid-90s. That's a good job, Ernie.
Yes. This one here is from the Cowboy Cardboard Warrior. Says, "Working" by Big Smo. Never heard of. Next
Big
one
Smo.
is from-
Oh, listen. Hold on. I want to say this real quick about Big Smo.
Yep.
I want to have it on record that Big Smo walked so Jelly Roll could run, so to speak. I'm just going to say that. I'll talk to you more about him after we're done.
This one here is from Ruger54. Says, "Clutch, binge and purge is pretty fitting with our current management at my building." Woohoo!
Nice.
This one here is from B-Rad Mo. Says, "Wheeler Walker Jr. Fuck this job." That's a good one.
It is.
This one here is from Old Ball Booger Bastard. Says, "Sanford and Son."
Yeah, oh my God, that's right. Dusty, I'm sorry, because when we did this, Dave and Kim didn't know the show Sanford and Son. This wasn't on Nick at Night. Some fucking how it wasn't. How the fuck wasn't, dude? Red Fox. Dude, there's a lot of, yeah, I'm sorry, Dusty. He doesn't know that one.
What was it, like a show that played on the TV Guide channel?
No, it was,
But you remember the TV Guide channel?
I do remember the TV Guide channel. See, that's what I mean. You fucking remember the TV Guide channel, but you never
Hell
saw
yeah,
Sanford
dude.
and Son. That's blowing my mind. There's no way. I know you've.
I have to. I probably have to seen it. Like I
I
probably have seen
guarantee
it. But anyways,
you've skimmed across it in your lifetime.
it's our generational divide. This one is from I Am Lars. Shout out to Lars. Says, "Fuck you, I won't do what you told me" by Rage Against the Machine. But I think the song has a different title. That shit gets me going. Yes.
It does.
The song is called "Killing in the Name of." That is the name of the song, actually. But that is a good one. That's actually the one I probably put on. That one and the Fred Durst one are the two that I put on whenever I'm feeling angry at the building.
When
I
you
will
want to say "fuck
Drive
you,"
out of the
I
building
won't do what you
and
tell
with that
me.
fucking song. What?
It's like when you just want to say "fuck you," I won't do what you tell me.
Yes, exactly. Or, it's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Yeah, anyways. Next one is from Aortis. Says, "Sky is the Limit" by Rebellion. Hilly Gus Cruise and Travel. John's second account says, "Rush, Working Man."
I love that. I love that, John. And I got to say this real quick. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on here, but my dad, huge Rush fan. And when I was a kid, I would hear Rush. Dave knows how much I love Rush. I've talked about Rush plenty. But my dad's a big man. He's like 6'5", 6'6". So, I mean, I was young. And I can remember looking up at him. He'd be driving a Bronco and look down on me. And he'd say, look, there's three guys in this band. For three guys, they can put out some music. And if I've heard him say it once, I've heard him say it a million times. But, yeah, that's a good one, John. Love that.
That's
Love Rush.
Last but not least, this one is from Plaid. Plaid is played, right? I'm so jacked right now.
Plaid, yeah.
Plaid, yeah, thank you. Plaid, Tweed, 1963. Says, "Break Stuff, Limp Bizkit." Yes, that's the song.
There you
The other
go.
one I was just talking about. Absolutely.
I said the Ultimate Warrior theme song would be mine, but I'll tell you, after
That's a
this,
good one.
after having a couple weeks from saying that before and having a few more weeks of this shitty month kicking my ass, I don't feel much like an Ultimate Warrior. I'd be coming out a little bit slower than the Ultimate Warrior. I'd be more like the. Oh no, I don't want to say that. I gotta say it now because I was gonna say I would be more like Hall of Fame speech Ultimate Warrior, but the crazy thing about that is he literally died the next day. So I don't want to, but it, dude, not to trail too far off with that. But have you ever listened to that speech of his when he was on Raw the night before he died and had a heart attack?
Who?
The Ultimate Warrior, the wrestler.
Oh no! I mean, I probably have seen it, but I can't.
Dude, I'm going to tell you when we get done, either YouTube or TikTok, whatever, just put in Ultimate Warrior's final speech. Dude, it's fucking eerie because it's like I don't want to say the dude knew he was literally going to pass away the next day, but it was weird. It's like I think he knew his time was coming, and it's but anyways, yeah. Ultimate Warrior is what I originally said, and I'll stick with it.
There you go. We also have 2 answers on the Facebook as well for this one. This one is from Brian. Brian says combination of a little bit off by FFDP and Survivor by Pop Evil.
Five Finger Death Punch and Pop Evil. That's good, Brian. I wonder that's probably ADG. I'm not looking at it, but it's probably awesome delivery guy.
I do believe it is.
Good deal.
Next one is from Tony Cook. Says break shit from Limp Bizkit. Kudos to you, Dave, for making that a banger for the cardboard war.
Nice.
Break shit.
Love
break
it.
Stuff, break shit.
That
works.
Same difference. Tomato,
same
tomato.
Difference. Exactly. Well, Luke, do we have anything else?
I'd say I think we're good for this one, and I'm glad we got back and got an episode in. We will got a few guests going to try to get on here in the upcoming weeks. So yeah, we'll be having some guest episodes. We'll be having a few episodes probably talking about we'll be talking about whatever we talk about. But yeah, it'll be
that's right.
But no, it's good to be back. Like I said, this one this was kind of thrown together because we haven't really had a lot of time to prepare for anything with life and taking care of the families. So it was good to it's always good to record. It's always good to catch up. Man, it's just it's crazy when it's like you get in such a rhythm of it. Like I feel like it's been a while, but it's only been a couple weeks. That's when you record 135 of them. So you get in a rhythm, I guess.
That's it. So guys, thank you for tuning in. If you like to be a part of the Patreon family, go to the link link is in the description of this episode. But you can also go to patreon.com/AITDpod. Come join the fun over there. Get that exclusive content from your 2 favorite UPS drivers. Guys, I am Dave, my co-host Luke. Thank you guys. We'll see you all next week.
Later, everybody.